Arkansas row crops and commercial horticulture are in full swing during the fall. Besides being the largest producer of rice in the United States, Arkansas is a major producer of a variety of agronomic crops. And while big farming is big business, Arkansas farmers know that good stewardship of the land is key for the future generations of farmers. We learn about an Arkansas program promoting agricultural sustainability and environmental awareness in this episode of Good Roots. I'm at Stevens Farm just outside of Dumas, where the cotton harvest is in full swing. Did you know that Arkansas produces over 1 million pounds of cotton bales and nearly 400,000 tons of cotton seed? That's fourth in the nation. It takes months of planning and preparation to produce canes like this, and it all starts in the soil. The Arkansas Discovery Farms program's goals is to determine the effectiveness of water and soil conservation practices utilized on working farms like this.
My name is Wes Kirkpatrick. We're here at CB Stevens Farms Incorporated. We farm a little over 4,000 total acres. Anywhere from 500 to 1,000 will be cotton every year. Now, we typically start planting cotton sometime in April. Soil temperature is really the dictator of when we start planting. About the middle of September, 1st of October is about when we start our harvest process. In order to make yield, we have to irrigate. With the University of Arkansas, we're part of what's called the Discovery Farm.
We've got one 10-liter bottle inside of here.
And they have on-site monitoring stations that anytime there's a runoff event off of the field, be it a rain event or an irrigation event, the automated system samples that water that's leaving the field. So the university is able to measure how much nutrient is leaving the field, and we also know obviously how much we're putting on the field. The Discovery Farm has been pretty beneficial to us to help monitor those nutrient amounts.
Cotton farming has been in your family, well, all your life.
Yes, all my life.
You literally grew up right across the field.
Yes.
That's incredible.
Yep.
Now you are part of this program. You're an Arkansas Discovery Farm. Tell me about your involvement.
Well, when I was first approached, they basically said they wanted to monitor our nutrient runoff, nitrogen and phosphorus, because of the epoxy on the Gulf of Mexico. And EPA and the industry just felt like that farmers were contributing to the epoxia. And they wanted to look at a cotton farm that had water running into the Mississippi River to see if we were contributing. I first said no to the program because I was fearful that maybe we were contributing, and I didn't want EPA breathing down my neck all of a sudden, hey, they're going to have numbers from my field. But I was convinced if we had a problem, they would help me solve it. The first thing that we found was pleasant surprise. Our N and P runoff numbers were very, very low. When we irrigate, we don't run a lot of water off the field to the point where we're 90% efficient today in our watering program. And this helped us to do that based on having the equipment to measure the water we pump, the water that runs off the field, and just to make sure that we can be as efficient as possible.
So Lee, what are you actually looking for when you get a sample from this?
So we're specifically looking for agronomic nutrients. So farmers are putting nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium on their fields to produce their crops, and we want to know, are the crops using it? Is it staying in the field, or is it leaving the field in the water runoff? And so we take a subsample from the composite sample of every runoff event, and we send it to the Arkansas Water Resource Center in Fayetteville, and it's analyzed for nitrogen, phosphorus, dissolved phosphorus, and potassium, and total suspended solids.
Every location we monitor just for the infrastructure is probably 15 to 20,000 depending on what equipment we need at this site. And then we're talking about the analysis of each water sample over $100 a piece. So it's an expensive program. That's why we don't monitor everywhere.
That's a pretty decent year right there.
Terry Dabz, he said, I think I might be a candidate for Discovery Farms because I have absolutely no groundwater on my farm. Everything he uses is surface water. And we thought it would be a good location because he recycles all the water that he uses.
The results we've been seeing have been very promising. We were actually losing very little nutrients when we got our test back. We farm about 8 miles south of Stuttgart, in a family partnership farming operation, which consists of myself, my son, and my wife.
Yeah, the Discovery Farm program was something that when my dad first approached me about it, I was like, are you crazy? I mean, you want environmentalists and other groups out here, you know, trying to watch what we're doing? I'm not too sure about that, but the more we talked about it and the more I learned about the program, I was excited. We grow about 800 acres of corn, so monitoring the nitrogen, phosphorus mainly are the two that we're really looking at. And that's important because we don't want any running off into our irrigation system or getting further down in the rivers and eventually to the Gulf of Mexico. That monitoring let us know, hey, are you doing this right or are we doing something wrong?
It's very important that we have that data from a third party that we can go to our legislators or EPA or whoever when they're getting ready to pass laws and regulations that affect us. We can say, look, you know, we've got data here that proves we're not doing this.
So the overarching goal of the Arkansas Discovery Farms program is to gather and gauge the water and soil quality of these Arkansas lands. But the data that is harvested empowers these farmers to make the changes they need for a bigger yield and a better environment for all. This is Good Roots, and I'm Lauren McCullough.